Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Paper Therapy. Amy here. Here's some pictures of a river float I did with my husband and my sister and brother-in-law when they came to visit. I've already decided that this is going to be a matting and there's going to be some patterned paper. I'm going to be starting on patterned paper outside. So I just wanted to show you. So these, I'm going to have two mats like this, and this is what I did right off the hop, is I cut them out of the center, and then I trimmed a little off the top there too, of these, because then I could use these as a trim on another page. Instead of cutting them off the side and leaving a strip left behind, I thought, oh, this way I often like to trim my pages in a darker color so I can set this in behind. And so I've gutted these two out, and I'm going to be using these as mats for my photos. So last summer in Alberta was a scorcher of a summer, and my sister and brother-in-law who live in Manitoba, which is about a 14-hour drive away, came to visit and see our new house. We had just moved into a new house, and I said to my husband, what are we going to do with them? We have to find something to do, just have a nice day together. And people are always floating down the Red Deer River. It's in the city of Red Deer that is about a half an hour away from us. So I said, hey, why don't we try floating down that river? And my husband was game. So we floated down the Red Deer River with them. It's not a fast current at all, and it's not even over your head. That's why we don't have life jackets. Like, most of the time you could just stand up. There's maybe a few spots that would be over our heads, but not much, very, very little. So we had a really good time. There's one photo that you can see where my husband's blowing up his tube because we had to beg, borrow, and steal tubes, and apparently one of his had a hole in it. So, or one of them did, and it happened to be his. So he had to stop and blow it up, and we just had a lot of laughs. It was a lot of fun. Here I am inking the edge of the floral paper because I like a real distinct edge to the floral paper, but also I gutted it out, as you can see, and I'll be gutting out the yellow as well to save that pattern paper for future projects. I didn't want to, because I was layering up so many pieces of paper, I didn't want to use the whole sheet of yellow and basically the whole sheet of flowered and then a good chunk of blue as well. I suppose that it would be good to mention too that they didn't drive the 12 hours or 14 hours to see us for one day. They actually had family from his side of the family in Alberta, and they went on to BC as like a across the prairies trip to the mountains to visit another sibling of ours. So they did stay a couple of days here, but they kind of gave everybody a few days. So we wanted to spend the day we had doing something fun, and it was such hot weather. We wanted to just do something outdoors that was going to keep us cool. So it was just the perfect thing to do. The pictures look a little bit overcast, but it was a 30-some degree Celsius. So I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but it was a hot, hot day. And that overcast, sometimes in a way, it almost makes it more overbearing, like humid, because there's this ceiling to the clouds. So I've almost got this side of the layout complete, and then I will skip ahead to the for the other side. I won't make you watch me do that whole process again, but they're pretty well identical. Well, they are identical as much as I could make them. And then I'll bring my photos back in. I do end up adding a mat underneath our picture there on the left side, the one of my husband and me and the whole group. I added some yellow under there just to bring the yellow back in. And this page actually had a title that really was built into the layout, and I really enjoyed making that title. This little journaling spot with the waves on it is from a former Picture My Life pack that I pulled out. I'm sure there's more of those around, or you could add some waves to a piece of cardstock on the bottom and you'd have the same look. So here is how I made some of my title. I added some background stamping with this stamp set. I don't know if it's still available. It may be. It was in the recent sale, but that doesn't help us now, does it? Anyways, I will link it if it's available down below. So I use those background bits, those polka dots, to pattern the background of the flags. So I did that first, and then I lined them up and I did the stamping for the actual words. But I also patterned some of the other letters that I had, and I used linen on the white here. I have some more letters from my title. The title was What a Lovely Day to Float. Big long title, but I had the word lovely in that pink and I had the opportunity to use it, so I wanted to use it. Pink isn't a color I'm going to use super often, but we had a pink floaty out there, so it was perfect. So I added the same polka dot pattern to all the letters from What a, and they're cut with our thin cuts. I'm not sure which font, but I will also link that one below if it's still available. A lot is available right now because we have 2 core catalogs going, but that's going to be short-lived. We're almost on the end of August here, and then we're going to just the core catalog. That's for the next year. So all these, I just did them tone on tone. So basically that means I used the same ink as the color of paper I was using. And in this instance, I was using Glacier. I believe the color in the paper pack is actually Capri, but I liked the way the Glacier looked and it matched close enough to that little bit of floral paper that I had around. So I was happy with that. I'm stamping the title To Float, or the last part of the title, To Float, in sapphire ink, just trying to line up the letters so that they're somewhat in the same spot on the flags so that they're not waving all around as I go across. The next step was to design some of my own embellishments, since the page that I was using wasn't, or the paper pack I'm using, which is Flower Shop, was not overtly water themed, I guess. I was going to say beach, but we weren't really on a beach, so water themed. So I wanted to make some things that were a little bit more like summery water themed. So here I'm using Perfectly Imperfect patterns to pattern the background of some Glacier paper with Glacier ink. And then I'm going to add some flip-flops in a row to this, and I'm planning to use it on the page somewhere. I kind of had a vague idea where I wanted to, but I just wanted to have it ready for when the layout was almost done, which is when I was planning to add a touch of this. A little bit of decoration, I guess. And I did do something with some pink paper as well, the same pink as the flags for the title, but I didn't get a recording of that. So it's the same thing. I did a 2-step, like tone on tone, and then added some arrows to a little bit wider piece of paper. I stamped Hello Sunshine in a bunch of different colors just to see if something would match. I do not have the Sundance color that is in this layout. And I also used embossing powder and White Daisy ink, an old stamp pad I have of White Daisy ink, to do the word day in these large letters that I have to the right here. Later on, I thought I do actually have die cuts that are very, very similar, and I should have just used those. But anyways, this is what I ended up doing. And I wanted to see if I could get kind of a shinier look. It did work out, and I'll show you at the end what it looked like. But I don't know that I would go through the trouble again, because I could have just die cut them out and maybe just use some liquid glass to make them shiny. Now that I have all the components of the title made, I wanted to get them into place. So I'm planning to kind of have the title surround this picture, these 2 pictures on the left-hand side. It's fun. I really enjoy having titles that have a bunch of different fonts. I think it adds a lot of interest to the page, and it makes use of a lot of different things in my craft room, which is also pretty neat. But it also, just having the different textures is what adds a lot of interest and makes your eye travel around the page. And the way that this title goes around the photos and really surrounds them, you have to kind of look at the whole thing in order to see the story. It tells the whole story, which I really enjoy. I'll link the flower shop embellishments, which you see me adding here. They are titles and different die cuts that some of a white plastic, some of pink plastic. On the last layout I did, I used a lot of the white plastic ones. The package also comes with these chipboard or like kind of a heavy cardstock ones that are both sapphire and wood grain look. Well, it has taken me some time to get through this layout. So if the lighting looks different, it's early evening. I'm on my own in my house finally. It's been another crazy week. So I just wanted to show you that I made some, what is on my hand? The life of a mother, you guys all know. Okay, I made some different strips to decorate a little bit more. I wanted to just have something going here to here, just to kind of have a line through it yet. And it's hard to tell, but I did stamp it in the background with a polka dot kind of background stamp that I had. This one's been stamped in the background with, I believe I have video of that with also another different background stamp. So I wanted to put these in here. And then I've got one of the zip strips here. There we go. And then I just wanted to add, oh, there's some pink thread. It would go with this page. I don't know where it came from. So, not sure if I want to put that on top, stagger them a bit, maybe overlap. I always like them a little bit better overlapped. So yeah, it's just been another one of those crazy weeks. Summer is almost done here in Canada. I know I already saw some of my American friends post back to school photos. What? You guys go back to school in August, and it always shocks me. And so there's no back to school here yet. We don't go until after the long weekend. I misplaced a scissors. Of course I did. What's in the frame of the video is very tidy. I will not show you what's outside the frame of the video. It is not tidy. It is very busy because I have been using all sorts of different, it always amazes me how many different things one needs, well, I need to do a layout. I have found the scissors. Okay. So one tip that I had for, I wonder if I'm going to go straight through here or not. I think I should, because I have enough. So one tip that I had for stamping your own cardstock to make it look like patterned paper is if you add a background stamp, it looks more like patterned paper, because patterned paper never really has just one thing stamped on it. So, and I find that the cardstock also, so yeah, cardstock never is just like, because I'm not voicing over and I don't have a chance to stop and think about what I'm saying, I'm having a hard time finding the right words. It never is just like a flat background. It always usually has a bit of a print. Like even in the background of this yellow, I would say like it doesn't look just like cardstock. I wouldn't say it's a print, but like it's just not the flatness of plain cardstock, which I love cardstock, don't get me wrong, but to give it a little bit more dimension, I would recommend doing a tone on tone stamp first. So say you're using Capri cardstock, use Capri or very similar ink. I believe this is actually Glacier. It matches close enough to this light blue, which is probably Capri in the background here. I find that really helps though. Okay, I'm gonna tuck this, is gonna go under here yet, and then it's gonna have to be cut in half. Well, the finished product, I didn't even bother speeding it up. I just glued down those strips, leaving them in. I really love layouts that incorporate a title into the whole photos. I can hear my doggy doing little barks, so she's all of a sudden probably gonna go crazy. And I've restarted the video about 4 times trying to get her to be quiet. So this, I don't know if you can really pick it up on the close-up, but this is, I did put a tiny bit of glitter, and it's been, try and let you get some light. There it is. It's been embossed, as you saw in the video. There she is. So there's the journaling, the hearts, added that little hello summer. So if you're able to give me any tips on how to get your puppy to stop being so barky, I would love those. Put those down in the comments. I would be very helpful for me to hear about that. And also, if you know anything about resource guarding, sometimes she does want to give something up and she gets a little snappy. So anyways, I'm very happy with this layout, and I'm very thankful for all my subscribers. I get more every time I put up a video, and it's really exciting. I keep telling my boys how many subscribers I have on my YouTube channel. So, you know, thank you. You're appreciated. Thank you for your comments. You really encourage me to keep on trying to do this. And yeah, just hit like and subscribe, and have a wonderful rest of your week, rest of your day. God bless. Bye.